guys, welcome back to the Bitcoin Bunker. I'm your host, Satoshi Down Under, and this episode I wanted to have a bit of a chat about a term that gets thrown around in the Bitcoin community a lot called time preference. So what is time preference? Basically, we have high time preference and we have low time preference. And I'll bring up this screen here. It's got a good little description, right? So get me out of the way here if I can. So the theory around time preference can apply to a lot of things, but here's just like a decent little table that explains it, right? So high time preference is essentially you're impatient, you want everything now, you want instant gratification. Much of what society sort of runs off now. You want the dopamine hit from scrolling Facebook, you want fast food, you want to spend your money rather than save it, you want to watch TV, casual sex as opposed to long-term relationships. All of these things are high time preference. And low time preference is obviously leans more towards getting a better outcome but having to be more patient for it. So saving money for something big rather than spending all your money every paycheck. Home cooked meal where you've got to put in the effort, you've got to put the time into it. Reading a book where you'll get something but maybe you don't get something instantly, you'll get some gratification. If it's a, if it's a non-fiction or fiction book, working out, you don't get the physique overnight. It takes time to build the muscle, build the fitness up, creating content as opposed to consuming, and then the marriage one there. So these are only a couple of things, but basically the way Bitcoiners see it is we live in a high time preference society, and fiat money is part of the root cause of that. I believe, along with a lot of other Bitcoiners, we believe that because the money is evaporating in our hands, we know inflation, even if people don't exactly know where inflation comes from, they know that their purchasing power is going down over time. Like, they know that pre-COVID groceries cost a lot less than they do now. So even if people don't consciously understand the concept of inflation or where it comes from, central banks printing money, they know that it's like, why save? I may as well just live for the moment, YOLO, go and do what I want to do now because tomorrow is uncertain, my future's uncertain. And so this leads to all these high time preference behaviors. Now, where does Bitcoin come into this? Well, if we look at a chart of Bitcoin, which we've done before, we can see that over time, what Bitcoin does is it rewards low time preference, meaning the longer you hold, the better off you're going to be. So this in itself, because Bitcoin has become such an effective savings technology, what it tries to train you to do, or doesn't even try to, but what ultimately happens once you become a Bitcoiner and you enter the space is you start weighing everything up in terms of Bitcoin rather than dollars. So if you have one Bitcoin, let's say in 2015, 2016, let's say you bought one Bitcoin at $230. As you watch that go up, once you understand Bitcoin, like you understand it's going up forever due to its fixed supply. It's hard cap 21 million supply. And the fact that you know that the money printers for fiat currency are going to stay on and stay turned on forever until they eventually collapse. So as you learn more about Bitcoin, like we spoke about in the opportunity cost episode, you begin to understand that the longer you hold this thing, the more it's going to be worth. And so what that ultimately leads to is, you've solved the problem of my savings aren't evaporating. My purchasing power isn't getting weaker when I denominate in Bitcoin. It's getting stronger over time. And this lowers your time preference, right? Because you feel more secure in your own economic situation, right? Because you know that, okay, that one Bitcoin that I bought for $230 is going up over time. Or the Bitcoin I bought for 10 grand, or the Bitcoin I bought for 50 grand, right? I know that if I hold for at least 4 years, no one's underwater, I'm going to have more purchasing power in 4 years than what I do now. So it gives you this kind of sense of security. The rest of the world can be chaotic. The rest of the world can be clown world, you know, all of the ridiculous things that we're seeing in the world. That can all be unpredictable, but you have the math of Bitcoin, its code, its hard cap of 21 million, its rules around the halving, and you can hang your hat on these things as securities and security for you. And the more of your wealth that you put in Bitcoin and the longer you're in it, the more conviction you get and the more you realize that your life's getting more secure, right? So what this does is this lowers your time preference. So knowing it's going up forever, and knowing that the longer you hold on to it, the better off you're going to be financially or economically, more secure you're going to be. This starts affecting your psychology, right? So you're no longer needing to go for this YOLO, don't know what's going to happen next week, I'll just spend the money I've got, or payday I'll just go and blow it. You actually become the opposite, and you start saying, okay, do I really need to spend my money on this luxury or that luxury? And then it even transfers beyond your money. It actually weirdly changes your whole mindset and gives you this kind of delayed gratification, low time preference mindset, where you start bringing it into every other area of your life, I think, without even really noticing it at first. So you'll begin to eat better, you'll put more time into your health, you might study, you might follow a passion that you have, you know, like when you feel more secure in your economic well-being, I think you feel better in your well-being overall, and that allows you to see yourself having a positive future. And so then you start thinking about what impact you want to make to your friends, family, those around you, what impact you want to have on society, and how you want to kind of live your life, knowing that the future is more stable and certain for you. So it's a point that gets thrown around a lot, time preference. And I think maybe even the Bitcoin Standard with Safedine Amos was the first guy to present it in the Bitcoin space. And it's kind of just like a common saying, you know, lower your time preference. With these bear markets and these price dumps, you know, everyone's saying low time preference, low time preference. And I thought it'd be helpful for new people to actually explain what that means. Because, you know, we're in this Bitcoin space, especially on X and even on YouTube, we just end up in this echo chamber of a bunch of Bitcoiners right into this thing, talking to a bunch of Bitcoiners. And I think a lot of the Bitcoiners have kind of forgotten the journey. Like, it's been a long journey. If you guys watched the last episode with Leon, reviewing his book, we've both been in since 2017, and that's coming up nearly a decade almost, you know. And everything that we've learned in Bitcoin hasn't come overnight. All the terminology, all of these little sayings, low time preference, the halving, mining, running a node, hardware wallets, all this stuff that I'm trying to teach you guys on the channel. It didn't come overnight, and I think a lot of Bitcoiners just forget that. You know, they're all about having the next interview with, you know, Michael Saylor, or what did this guy say, or what's that guy's prediction. And I thought this channel needs to be different. There needs to be a source of just bringing it back to basics, trying to use the 8 years that I've been in the space and studying Bitcoin to try and identify the things that help me along the way, which is what Leon's book's all about too. Trying to just explain out a bit more that journey and the things that helped me along the way, building the conviction with Bitcoin. So low time preference versus high time preference. Without Bitcoin, basically society is pushing you towards high time preference in everything you do, whether it's scrolling TikTok. I mean, look at YouTube now and TikTok. Most videos are shorts. It's like everyone's after such a quick dopamine hit that YouTubers are just creating shorts now. They can't even grab someone's attention for more than 5 minutes. And, you know, I think that's the decay of society through the money, the decay of the money, and people not feeling like they have much of a future. So, yeah, I think Bitcoiners are kind of the outliers in the sense that we've discovered Bitcoin, thankfully, and it's allowed us to lower our time preference, not get distracted by, you know, the next batch of Epstein files, or this group hates that group and now there's a protest, now there's a rally, or, you know, go back to traditional news, all the terror that's on there. Like, there's never anything positive on the news. It's all there to drive fear, get you worried about things that you can't control. So, yeah, I think once you get down the Bitcoin rabbit hole, you'll discover that not only will your economic life improve, but all areas of your life will improve and flow on from that. So, yeah, I just wanted to touch on that tonight. Check it out a bit more. Low time preference, high time preference. I mean, it's a pretty basic concept, but all I would say is, if you're not in Bitcoin yet, maybe it's time to dip a toe in. I think it's a very good buying opportunity now. If we've come off the highs of 126k US down to 67 US now, so you've got over a 50% discount, like we chatted about a couple episodes ago. So if you're thinking about it, I think dip a toe in, small amount, and then at least your head will start to be in the game. You know, if you don't put skin in the game with anything that you do, if you just scroll past the video, watch it, and then go, yeah, cool, that guy's got some good points, and you don't act on it, then, you know, studies show that basically time will go by and no action, no attention will be paid to it any further. You'll hear about Bitcoin in 4 years when it hits another all-time high, or maybe earlier, and then you'll go, oh yeah, I should have dipped a toe in when that random YouTube guy told me to. So yeah, I think skin in the game. Get some skin in the game. The rewards you'll get, they might not be monetary gains straight away, but I can promise you, if you start thinking and studying Bitcoin and thinking in terms of purchasing power in Bitcoin, your whole behavior will change to a low time preference behaviors. And look, even if you don't end up with millions in Bitcoin, that can't be a bad thing, right? If you lower your time preference, you feel a little bit more secure economically for you and your family, and then, you know, you end up fitter, healthier, stronger in the mind, all of those things, like, they can't hurt, right? So yeah, so I'll probably leave it there, and like and subscribe, share this with anyone. If you haven't watched the last episode, go back to that. We went over 123 BTC with my good mate Leon, and his book's now out on all major platforms, and it really is just like the beginner's guide to Bitcoin. Nothing too technical in there, but gives you a bit of a brief history of money, fiat currency, how Bitcoin can be the solution to a lot of society's problems, and how Bitcoin differs from the shitcoin casino. So yeah, go find that video and check it out, and I'll catch you on the next one.